This is the logo. Keep it real simple just to try to make this in a 3D model from Illustrator to Photoshop, and just have the tab key to hide this. But the illustration that you did with the Brute is a Rubbermaid product, and the link that's up there will get you to this site. Just shows you a little bit of the history as far as the area and location of where this company started and had its origins, getting you a little bit of connections from there. But this is simply just started, so I just have this text, and the link for that site is right there. And when you take a look at these two pieces, this bottom one is probably the easiest one to try to simulate. So when you take the text over the top of this, just zoom in a little bit so you can see it better, is dragging this, whether it's the shift key is going to keep it in proportion, you let go of it, it'll give you that overall selection. And this is just a Helvetica font, bold, so it places it right to that section. If you do, you don't have to include the registration, but Option R is the location of that key for that particular section, but that won't actually show up in your final piece, but just for the registration purposes there it would be. And then to try to think of different ways to illustrate this particular section, I'm just going to take the ellipse tool and kind of make an ellipse. I have the space bar held down, which allows me to locate these pieces and create that shape of the ellipse. Now, depending on when you let go or keep connected with the space bar to get that overall section. So I'm tightening this up a little bit as it lays itself down. I'm just going to go ahead and put a ruler guide right on the center from the top and the left side column there. And then Shift X will make it so it's just an outline. And then simply go to take the rectangle if I already have it a window shade out. Lets me do it from there. And here I'm just holding the Option to center that two pieces and places it right there. So just so you can see these a little better, it's just two shapes. Shift key them if they're not perfectly aligned. I'll click here, and if they weren't, they would have jumped a little bit on that section. Then the Pathfinder, there's this one that's intersecting that section. That'll give you that selected piece. The eyedrop tool, you can select for the red. Just use Object Arrange or Send Back with the bracket. So as long as I'm on there, that'll give me that selection. And then here is the piece for making this white. Again, shift keying these two together in the Align palette, taking a look at this, Align to Selection or Key Object or Artboard. Those are different modifications that you can make. And that'll center that. And if it's centered, just grouping it together under Object Group, and then Edit Copy. And then just come on over to Photoshop again. I'll paste it in as pixels as we've been doing and hit OK. I'm also going to paste one in here as a smart object just so you can see it. And this over here allows you to go back and forth if you ever need to get back into the area, and lets you edit it in Illustrator and bring it right back. So that's why that function is there. We haven't used it too much, but there it is. And then just double clicking on this part, it's going to give you that overall selection of this piece. So the beveling and emboss is going to give you that. Just reset your contour for that one. And then here's the size of this part. So you can see you can build it up from there. So that's real simple. If you double click again, the drop shadow. And keep in mind on some of these, before the using of global lighting allowed it to be connected all throughout. Everything's pieced together so that bevel emboss, you can lower it for that selection. Keep in mind you can change the color of the screen and the shadow and everything from down below, so it gives you those options that you can try. And if you brought these in as separate letters, you could have put the lettering embossed into that section. Otherwise, if you wanted to keep that selected. Here's the magic wand tool. I'm on this layer. If I click on this part or hit the cap locks to make it a cross section, it will grab whatever pieces you have. If you shift key it, or if you turn off contiguous, it'll take whatever white section is selected on there. And here I can paste it on there. So there it is, black and white. So this is nothing more than just a piece of text, depending on how you want to manipulate. Auto select, be careful on that one. So it's just a layer above it that you can then do some of the other items like this that we've done before. So it's trying to get you to experiment all the way through those pieces so you have that selection that you can take a look at and leave it up to your artistic ability for that piece. Again, the tab key and the F key will hide everything and let you zoom into it for a screenshot. Spacebar lets you move it around before you let go.